difficulties with the audio.
Yes,
on the
I'm
stream.
professional.
Udi, I was just
Yeah.
kidding you.
Good that you
Everything was
checked out
fine
everything before.
But
We have the song.
you messed it up now. I'm sorry.
Great.
Bye. Oh, it works now.
We have some
Really
song.
nice.
Are we live?
Really, it works now?
Yeah,
Oh,
it works.
the volume's
We
working.
heard from, yes, I'm very professional.
The
It started
volume's
to
working.
work.
We're on. Woo!
My joke is on there.
now
My
it's
joke
gone.
is on there.
Okay, so now I just need to place it.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
think.
think
We're watching
also
you do
for
this
the
in real
YouTube
time.
viewers, it would be best to
This
make a front.
is the
Oh,
look, there's the
magic
camera.
behind
Okay,
the.
looks good.
Woohoo!
Oh no, Udi! There we go.
What?
We're fine. You temporarily put it on your computer again.
So far, I really like the Mozilla hubs. It's fun.
It's impressive what you can do in the browser.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
for
cool.
sure. Yeah. So it will be the
Just
future.
a minute. Let me just make sure.
Is it
Oh,
maybe
just,
like
just
uh,
throw,
yeah,
just
okay.
throw on more
Oh,
JavaScript
here,
and
maybe
then
I
everything
should.
in the
We
future.
should sing a song to entertain while we set up. Is there
Okay.
like
It makes
a,
We can
everything
go.
painfully slow and
Okay.
it
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
forces us to buy even
Yeah.
faster computers, even though
time to mute everyone?
Someone
programming
phone
is
slow.
a reasonable
Muting.
language, it would just run.
Okay, here we
So,
go.
hopefully everyone can hear me and the internet can hear me too.
We can hear you.
Hi, I'm BTCKitty. Today I'm going to talk about perpetual pyramid smart contracts. Except I wasn't quite sure what to call them, so I put some alternatives in the bylines. So maybe anonymous zero-sum game tokens, or decentralized volatility harvesters, or perhaps emotion-based wealth distribution games? Let's find out. By the way, this presentation has many memes, none of which are my own creation. Okay, yeah. So first I'll give a quick explanation about Bitcoin, blockchains, and Ethereum. Bitcoin is digital money. It has a fixed supply, meaning it can't be devalued by inflation. It's secure, meaning it's transparent and tamper-proof. It's permissionless, meaning anyone in the world can use it without having to ask for permission. And it's decentralized,
She was
meaning no
asking if
single
you can
entity
do
controls
front
it.
loop.
It belongs to the world. Bitcoin is implemented using a blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is a global peer-to-peer distributed
Users are
ledger.
asking if you
It's
can
made up
make
of blocks
front
of data which are all linked
the
using cryptographic hashes. Each block of data contains financial transactions. If I want to send someone some Bitcoin, I broadcast a transaction where X Bitcoin is transferred from my wallet to my friend's wallet. A miner, which is software running on someone's computer, picks up this transaction and includes it in a block which is then added to the blockchain. The blockchain is secured via a consensus algorithm called proof of work. Ethereum is also implemented using a blockchain. It's a global virtual machine and an inflationary digital currency. The Ethereum blocks contain transactions just like Bitcoin, but they also contain little bits of software which are called smart contracts. In Ethereum, I can broadcast a financial transaction like in Bitcoin, and I can also deploy a smart contract and call its functions. In this case, a miner will pick up my function call, execute it, and commit the results to the blockchain. In May 2017, an Israeli company named Bancor published a white paper describing an innovative type of smart contract called a smart token. A smart token is a smart contract which lets someone buy and sell tokens directly via smart contract without needing another person at the end of the trade. The way it works is, let's say I want to buy some Bancor tokens. I send Ethereum to the smart contract, and the smart contract creates new Bancor tokens and sends them to me. And when I sell, the contract destroys the token. The price of the token is based on the amount of Ethereum held in the contract. The more Ethereum there is, the higher the price of the token. By math magic, the supply goes up with the demand, and so does the price. The formula is token price equals the Ethereum balance in the contract divided by the token's outstanding supply times the CW, or connector weight. In the case of the Bancor contract itself, the CW is 10%. So here we have some graphs. So the up is the price, and to the right is the supply. So with a connector weight of 100%, the price just stays the same with the supply. This is how it grows with the supply when the connector weight is 50%. And this is a CW of 10% and a CW of 90%. So a smart token contract acts as a market maker and provides continuous liquidity, meaning a buyer doesn't need a seller and vice versa in order to sell or buy. Bancor intended for people to create smart tokens using Bancor's platform, which would create smart tokens which could be exchanged for BNT, Bancor Network Token, rather than Ethereum. By the way, Bancor raised $153 million in 3 hours in an ICO, or initial coin offering. Dr. Jochen Hennecke is a research group leader at the Software Engineering Faculty of University of Freiburg. He also works for Satoshi Labs as Trezor cryptographer and hacker. In June 2017, Dr. Hennecke deployed the Ponzi token smart contract on the Ropsten Ethereum testnet blockchain. The testnet is very similar to the mainnet, but its Ethereum is worthless, and you could even get some for free from services called faucets. Ponzi token is based on the Bancor formula with some changes. The implementation was Dr. Hennecke's own. First, the price calculation is different. The formula is token price equals the quad root of the token supply, and the reserve is 80%. Second, when someone buys into the contract, a 5% fee is deducted from the purchase amount and redistributed to the existing Ponzi token holders. These dividends are set aside for the token holders as Ethereum, available for withdrawal from the contract at any time. Dr. Hennecke created a web page on his personal site explaining all about Ponzi token and providing the address to the testnet smart contract. There is a website called 4chan. It's an anonymous image board website which is split up into different boards. One such board is Biz, which is for the discussion of business and finance. Biz also have a Discord server. In January 2018, some anonymous people from Biz discovered Dr. Hennecke's Ponzi token. They cloned the code and modified it to have a 50% reserve and a 10% buy-in fee. On January 28th, this smart contract was deployed on the mainnet along with a website to interact with it using the MetaMask Ethereum wallet. The token was named Proof of Weak Hands Coin, and the website was powhcoin.com. Why Proof of Weak Hands? In the crypto community, having strong hands means holding on to your cryptocurrency without selling it. Having weak hands means panicking and selling your coins. Just as proof of work mining generates revenue for Bitcoin miners, the weak hands of others in the Proof of Weak Hands contract generate revenue for its token holders. The website contained many memes and jokes. For example, the link to the white paper just pointed to an online SEC publication alerting investors about Ponzi schemes using virtual currencies. Some of the people listed on the inspiration board were Carlos Matos, known for his involvement with the infamous cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme, BitConnect; Roger Ver, known for trying to trick people into believing his altcoin is actually Bitcoin; and even Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous inventor of Bitcoin. The site was basically a parody, but the concept behind it was valid. Oh. This is what the main page of POWHcoin looked like, the world's first autonomous and self-sustaining pyramid scheme. FOMO is short for fear of missing out. It's often the cause of reckless investment in cryptocurrencies. Indeed, as soon as the proof of weak hands contract and website were deployed, people started buying into the contract. It was so popular that within 3 days, the contract held over 1,000 Ethereum, worth over $1 million at the time. Due to this incredible popularity, some of the developers split off from the original proof of weak hands group and decided to create a clone of the contract, but with one change. The 10% fee would also be applied to any sell transactions. This 10% fee would ensure that even when other people sold out of the contract, the holders could recoup some or all of their tokens' loss in value by collecting the dividends. This new smart contract was called Proof of Weak Hands Shadow and was deployed 2 days after Proof of Weak Hands was deployed, on January 31st, 2018. Within 2 hours, the Proof of Weak Hands Shadow contract held over 850 Ethereum. One person even bought in with 232 Ethereum, worth over $250,000 in one go. This person was later referred to as 232 Whale. Unfortunately, in these 2 hours, one of the withdraw transactions caused an integer underflow error, and from that point onward, people could no longer sell their tokens and withdraw their Ethereum from the contract. Nearly $1 million worth of Ethereum was now stuck in the Proof of Weak Hands Shadow contract, including the developer's own money. Nonetheless, Proof of Weak Hands was still going. Some of the early investors even sold their tokens and made considerable profits. On February 1st, 4 days after Proof of Weak Hands was deployed, one of the devs noticed a problem in the smart contract code and brought it up in the Discord chat. The developer explained that the contract could be exploited by a buffer overflow error. As the developer was chatting about this, someone actually sent a transaction which triggered the integer overflow. The transaction called the transfer function with the largest integer possible, which is represented by 64 Fs in hex. This caused the contract to send a huge amount of Proof of Weak Hands tokens to the hacker's private wallet. The hackers sold these tokens back to the contract and withdrew the entire contract balance at the time, 866 Ethereum. There were a few small clones which had also been deployed by various people, and they too were hacked in the same way. The next day, someone sent some transactions to the Proof of Weak Hands Shadow contract, which got it unstuck from its error state, and it too was hacked and drained of all its funds. Altogether, around $2 million worth of Ethereum was poached from these smart contracts within 24 hours. If you Google the words "just meme," you will find an image of Brendan Fraser with a bad haircut and red eyes and the words "just fuck my shit up." After the hack, the Proof of Weak Hands devs, who had themselves lost money, replaced the Proof of Weak Hands website with this page. They also created a new Discord server with the main channel named Just. Also, 232 Whale sent an anonymous threatening message via Pastebin demanding the lost money, which of course was never refunded. After the hack, again some devs split off. They copied the Proof of Weak Hands Shadow contract, fixed its bugs, improved it, and tested the new code. The next day, on February 2nd, they deployed ETH Pyramid along with a website, ethpyramid.io. ETH Pyramid wasn't as popular as Proof of Weak Hands or Proof of Weak Hands Shadow. That day, the contract balance peaked at a little over 600 Ethereum and then dumped to about 200 Ethereum. On February 24th, ETH Pyramid was rebranded to ETH Phoenix. The website was changed to ethphoenix.io, but the underlying smart contract remained the same. 2 days later, someone implemented a futures contract for ETH Phoenix called PeerMex. Very soon after the ETH Phoenix was deployed, clones started popping up. In fact, some of the developers put up a site called Ponzi Land on scam.funsite.cz, which listed and enabled user interaction with the various clones as they were deployed on the Ethereum blockchain. Some clones had names and websites of their own, such as Proof of Weekends 420, later rebranded to Good Proof of Weekends. Others were just clones of the contract with some ether deposited in them. One resourceful person created a website called Ponzi Factory, which offered to deploy ETH Phoenix clones for anyone, free of charge, other than the Ethereum network fee. The catch? The contract sent 20% of every transaction to the Ponzi Factory creator's private wallet. In one instance, a group of people attempted to create a clone named ETH Pyramid 2. They said they would announce the contract address as soon as it was deployed in order to have a more fair distribution. When the time came, they posted the contract address and people quickly deposited money into it until someone noticed that it was an empty contract. Over 30 Ethereum are stuck in this empty contract forever. Meanwhile, the remaining Proof of Weekends devs worked on perfecting a new smart contract, which was also inspired by Proof of Weekends Shadow. First, they deployed the contract on the Ropsten testnet and even hid an Easter egg in the test contract referencing 232 whale. Finally, on February 25th, they deployed the Proof of Weekends 3D smart contract and reused the original Proof of Weekends URL, powhcoin.com. Proof of Weekends 3D also had a 10% buy and sell fee, but its price calculation was different. In Proof of Weekends 3D, every P3D token purchased increases the token price by 1/100 millionth of an ether, and each P3 token sold decreases the price by 1/100 millionth of an ether. The first token cost 1/10 millionth of an ether, so the P3D formula is the one that you see here. This meant that the early investors had less of an advantage than in the previous contracts. In addition to this, Proof of Weekends 3D introduced one major new innovation, masternodes. A wallet which owns over 5 P3D is considered a masternode. Having a masternode allows one to provide a masternode referral link to people. If someone buys into the Proof of Weekends 3D contract via a masternode referral link, then instead of 10% of the purchase going to all the token holders, only 6.66% goes to all the token holders and 3.33% goes to the masternode wallet. Masternodes are basically a decentralized marketing campaign which pays marketers directly. This is also known as proof of shill. Hang on. For 3 days, everything was great and people were investing and shilling Proof of Weekends 3D. Then, on March 1st, the owner of the powhcoin.com domain hijacked the website and replaced the Proof of Weekends contract with a contract which routed funds to the hijacker's own wallet. The other devs alerted everyone and quickly moved the website to a new domain, powh.io, and reported the old website. Not much money was lost. The community continued growing slowly, but the contract balance remained below 500 Ethereum. Then, on March 15th, Trevon James, known for having brought a lot of people into the BitConnect scam using his social media influence, tweeted about P3D. Craig Grant, another infamous ex-BitConnect shill, also joined the fun shortly after. At this point, the interest in Proof of Weekends 3D started growing exponentially. On March 17th, the contract balance passed 1,000 Ethereum, but then the website went down due to technical problems. Instead of panicking, people calmed each other down and other people posted videos and blogs explaining how to interact with the Proof of Weekends 3D contract directly without the powh.io website. Once the website was reinstated, people were even more enthusiastic because they saw that the contract was truly decentralized and permissionless. The interest in P3D grew, and so did its community. People created wiki sites, interactive charts, merchandise, web stores, music videos, and many other related sites and media. By March 31st, the contract balance had passed 10,000 Ethereum, and on April 5th, the contract balance reached nearly 20,000 Ethereum, at the time worth over $7.5 million. Meanwhile, the P3D community wasn't the only thing that was growing. Due to its popularity, at the beginning of April, many clones began popping up. The clones had different buy-sell fees, price increments, masternode minimum, website, communities, and, of course, different memes. These were some of the clones: proof of weak legs, proof of weak math, proof of weak clones, POWH33, power of gods, proof of big balls, power of hodl, proof of Japanese, iron hands, and some more clones: proof of only holding, or poo, proof of strong cock, proof of Craig Grant now, proof of Trevon James, proof of Trevon James 2, proof of Masternode, proof of Carlos Matos, locked in, and many others. None of the clones were anywhere near as successful as the original proof of Weak Hands 3D. But the creation of these clones caused many people to sell their P3D tokens and instead buy into the clone contracts. Although the balance of the contract had greatly declined from its 20,000 Ethereum peak, the P3D dev team was hard at work creating another smart contract game which would reward P3D holders. On July 21st, the FOMO 3D smart contract was deployed along with its website, exitscam.me. FOMO 3D is a decentralized game where players purchase keys. When the timer runs out, the last player to have bought a key wins the pot reward. Each time a key is purchased, the timer increases by 30 seconds, up to 24 hours, and also the price of the next key increases. The Ethereum used to purchase a key goes mostly towards the pot, but also partially gets distributed to the other F3D holders and to P3D holders. When the timer runs out and the round ends, the pot also gets divided among the winner. The F3D holders, the P3D holders, and the next round's pot. FOMO 3D indeed caused people to FOMO into both FOMO 3D and Proof of Weak Hands 3D. Within one day, the P3D contract balance shot up to 60,000 Ethereum, and by the end of the week, on July 27th, it peaked at 85,000 Ethereum, worth around $40 million at the time. FOMO 3D grew to nearly 22,000 Ethereum, and on August 22nd, someone won the first round. The winning player is said to have spent about $20,000 to send many transactions with particular fee prices, which tricked the bots playing the game into offering low fees for their transactions, which in turn allowed the player to successfully lock them out of the final Ethereum blocks before the FOMO 3D timer expired, and the contract awarded the player over 10,000 Ethereum, worth nearly $3 million at the time. Then the next round began, but my presentation must come to an end.
Can you hear me?
In conclusion, this presentation wouldn't be complete without some shilling of my own Proof of Weak Hands 3D Masternode referral link. So if any of you would like to take part in this fascinating social experiment and buy into the Proof of Weak Hands 3D games, consider using my Masternode link, powh.life. Just kidding, that link is no longer valid. That's it for my presentation. I'll be happy to take some questions.
Quest. I don't know.
You see different parts of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Probably just.
Any questions? Or are we going to go on to the improv part?
This was fun. I liked it. It was very timely. It was very timely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it can't compete with all the new sushi and food contracts, which have way more than $40 million, but it was big at the time.
It sounded
By
like
the way,
that.
I personally put in about $750 into the first proof of weak hands contract, and about 2 hours before it got hacked, I got this bad feeling, and I called my husband up and explained to him how to sell out of the contract, and phew.
That's good. That's good.
I have a question. Kitty, do you know if this is the first? Sorry, if Proof of Weak Hands specifically was the very first pyramid scheme smart contract game, or not?
It seems to be that. Yeah, I mean, unless you count Bancor as the first one.
Right. So the ICO things, yeah, which used. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit it's a bit tricky, isn't it? So there wasn't anything like this on Bitcoin. Like you couldn't make this specific type of thing on Bitcoin. That's impossible,
you can't create such a contract on Bitcoin.
Well, there was Bitcoin Savings and Trust, which was kind of like a pyramid scheme, but that's not the same thing. No smart contract. Yeah.
How do you write messages?
How do I what?
Interesting.
How do you
Any
write
other questions?
messages?
You can just
Yeah,
ask.
hello.
How do you message me?
Hey, Carlos.
Hello. Hey, everyone.
I mean,
Hey, I
there's a
just
message
want
box.
to
Are you
know
on the quest?
No,
if
I'm
I
on
am
desktop.
still on the top of the charts as you know, the biggest
I don't
Ponzi
have it on
schemer.
the
Like,
Yes.
is there anyone above
I
me?
responded
No.
to you on
No?
No.
Yeah, hey. Now my wife believes me.
on the quest.
Oh,
They don't
yeah.
have
Oh,
messages.
man.
I'm finding out every.
Oh yeah, but I sent to
Anyone
the,
else?
just
How
the general text room.
work?
Okay, Kitty. So thanks.
Mm.
This was awesome. I like this. By the way, I don't
Awesome.
know if you did you mention that Bancor is like kind of
Yeah.
the precursor to Uniswap and they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, so basically Uniswap is just another one of these contracts, except the price formula is different. That's all, pretty much.
Yeah.
And back in
And
the
it
day,
used to be
you
that they
did-
had no token, but now they do. So scratch that. I don't know if you
didn't have
heard,
to
but there's a
pay-
Uniswap token. I don't know if anyone heard of that.
There's
All
also a
the
use booty
automated
token,
market
but I mean, we're
maker.
not shouting from the rooftop.
True.
I think Uniswap just went live on
Okay,
Coinbase
so
yesterday.
so next, so you want to introduce the next section?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, sure. So Kitty, thanks. This was awesome. I learned a lot. And the next thing we're gonna do is so it's sort of an improv session. We have 3 or 4 people who are gonna see a slide deck for the first time now, and we're gonna give them a topic, and then they're gonna have to just perform the slides without knowing what's going on. I think it's gonna be pretty funny. So by the way, it's kind of like shitcoin conferences. So a lot of times the shitcoin founder gets slides from the team without even seeing them before they go on stage. So it's kind of the same.
Sometimes.
Just
Okay.
and I guess, by the way, people with VR headsets can stay unmuted because this is like kind of a more
Yeah, we want you to laugh.
yeah, we want the laughs. We want the laughs. Try to
want
laugh
the
even
laugh
if it's not
track.
funny. But if you're on a laptop and you don't have headphones, then do mute yourself because we'll probably get like feedback and that's not good. So, who's first? Is Andrew? Andrew, is your thing working
Andrew,
or?
are you working?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I can see the title slide right now, so I can give it a shot. And as long as I can see the slides, I'll keep going.
But this is
Let's see.
Kitty's slide deck, right?
Yeah. This
Yep.
is
There you go.
this is the correct one.
okay, so we have 13 topics. So who wants to give a number between 1 and 13?
I think it
7.
should be
2.
Andrew.
Seven.
Seven.
It's always 7.
21.
Okay. So, Andrew, are you ready to talk about Bitcoin block size and issuance rate?
Jesus
Oh yeah, you got it for sure.
Can you move the slides though, Andrew?
Let me see.
Probably not because you're not an admin.
Ah,
You have to be
So just say
admin to
next
do that.
slide.
Okay.
I can move them for you, but do you see the move? Did you see that move now?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
So go ahead, and when you need to move to the next slide, just let us know.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you guys for coming. My name is Andrew Wertheim. Absolutely no relation to Udi Wertheimer, the master of ceremonies for this event. And today I will be talking about the block size and the issuance rate. And this is more specifically for Bitcoin, so hold on to your hats if you came for other purposes. So I put this deck together with careful consideration, and I hope you really enjoy. I've got a lot of great information in here, and so we'll kick this off with this title slide, which is, of course, the representation of the Lord and Savior Satoshi Nakamoto. So in the beginning, Satoshi created the heavens, the earth, and the blockchain, and in it, he set a size limit and an issuance rate. And actually, this is not true. In the very beginning, Satoshi set no size limit, which led to a bunch of the discussions that resulted in the block wars of 2017, 16, 17. I don't know. If you were there for that, that was a hullabaloo for sure. We'll talk a little bit more about that in some future slides, but if you don't know what Satoshi looks like, there he is. He's right there on the screen. Go ahead, you can advance to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so the reason I wanted to bring up the Libra horoscope of 2020, this is representative of the astrology signs of the different altcoiners that we know and love. Now, a lot of this doesn't actually have to do with the block size, but that's okay. I thought it was important to include anyway. But one thing that is important to note is Libra specifically, it does not have a general issuance rate. There is no cap. Right, so this is very important in the economics of Libra, and all the more important why Bitcoin.
Libra.
Sorry, I've got
It's
some
Facebook
hecklers. What did you
Libra.
say?
It's Facebook Libra, right?
Facebook Libra. That's right. Yep, and Facebook
No,
Libra is
it's
Big Brother.
Decentralized.
Very, very centralized. No issuance rate. Basically, you're trusting in them and not the 21 million cap of Bitcoin. Okay, go ahead to the next slide. So with that taken care of, I thought it would be important to put up some nonsensical pie charts here, and I can't actually read. What's the title?
My hash rate distribution, right?
So the sector ratings, again, this is of absolutely no relevance to the block size or issuance rate, but I thought it would be a great experimental slide to include just simply for the color wheel and for your visual delight.
I'm delighted.
With that said, again, we can go on to the next slide.
It's clearly hash rate distribution. Come on.
Oh,
What?
jeez, most whales.
You can't even spell right for fuck's sake. Put this shit together.
This, guys, and I appreciate your laughs, but this slide is really, this is no laughing matter. This is a really serious issue in Bitcoin right now. As you know, whales definitely don't have large mouths, and therefore they don't have large throats, so they can't fit whole human beings. Now,
Maybe it's
again, this
throats of
is an
people in
allusion to
whales.
the block size debate, and right now I think we're pretty set on what Bitcoin has settled with. But if the Bitcoin blocks were any bigger, they would be able to fit full humans, and then you would just basically be able to spam the network and create total denial of service attacks, and that's what we'll be seeing with Satoshi's vision. All right, go on to the next slide, please. This was just a brain dump. I was up last night really late, and I had an explosion of data, and I decided to put it on this slide for you. What this represents is the amount of effort I put into this deck over the last 15 minutes. And you can see
years,
there's a clear non-correlatory relationship between my effort and the amount of laughs I'm getting. So I appreciate that. Go ahead, we can go to the next slide, please. Great. Now give me just one moment. I have to recall what my Aunt Steinberg said in this. She said, if you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on. Now, as most of you know, I'm an early investor in SpaceX, and it's been fantastic because they offered me a seat, and what I didn't realize was that seat was at the glass window watching the launches, not actually on the cap table. But that's okay because I did my research and I was able to invest in Bitcoin, which is what you should be investing in because it has a limited issuance rate and there is a limited supply cap. And that's what this presentation is about. All right, let's go to the next slide, please. I will make absolutely no apologies. My secretary who put this deck together sometimes likes to slip in pictures of Udi when he's getting dressed. And I apologize, but that seems to be what she slipped in here. But no Bitcoin presentation is complete without boobs. So there you have it, folks. All right, we'll go to the second to last slide. I think there are only 10, right? Is that correct?
No.
Okay, so time, attention, and energy. So this slide is representative of the block time, the amount of attention that the block wars gain, and the energy that is put behind proof of work. Now, as many of you know, there is lots of energy going into securing the Bitcoin blockchain, but that's okay because of the, that's right, limited issuance rate. And that means that everything in this environment is setting us up for a sound money that is going to revolutionize the world. So focus all your time and energy and attention on what's to come in this final slide. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Udi, hit it.
It's not the last one. You have another one after this one.
Okay. That's what I meant. The second to last one. So if you guys have enjoyed this presentation, this is my representation of fishing you all. I've been able to successfully con you out of the last 10 minutes of your day. And thank you for taking that on a Saturday. I will be accepting donations at the end of this presentation. This was just my personal reminder to tell you that. And with that, I'll conclude on this last slide. Then and now. So what did miners look like before and after? And this giant pencil is representative again of the secret history of the pencil. Ah, yes. I'm forgetting again what I did when I put this in. It must have been about 3 in the morning.
Jesus, the police have come.
It had something to do with the 21 million supply cap and the block size, so I thought it was relevant. And now I'm just scratching my head as to why I included it. So with that, folks, I appreciate you all coming out to this Bitcoin stand-up comedy routine. Hopefully we'll be able to have future ones again in weeks to come. If you liked my presentation, my name is Andrew Wertheim. If you didn't, my name is Udi. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
This was a great scam presentation. Nice. Well done. I'm clapping. If anyone has any questions about this, by the way, feel free to ask. I know that this was a lot of information. If not, then we're going to move on to, so the next talk. Kitty, do we have a topic for the next one? Do I need to choose a number?
Yeah, choose a number that's not
5.
7. 5.
7.
Running nodes and payment channels.
Okay, so
I got this one.
The next one
Got it.
is from CQ.
Yeah.
And it's about running nodes and what?
And payment channels.
Running nodes and payment channels, of course.
You heard of those, Udi? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening,
I know about
everybody.
this.
I am a bit short, so I might have to waddle back and forth a little bit. Welcome to my presentation.
Sorry.
I don't know if you all have been a child alone at the cashier station before in the front of the grocery store while your mom forgets eggs, and you're just standing there waiting. Cashier looks at you in the eye. No, ma'am. All I have is a Game Boy. So this is my presentation. Prestige is the Shadow of Money and Power by C. Wright Mills. Well, when you're standing up there at the register, you could definitely feel a shadow hovering over you as you're waiting, to check out your groceries.
Udi, do you know what we have to do if the presentation
over there.
doesn't load?
And because of this, we could apply this to Bitcoin in different ways. Let's see. The market share. So the market share is great when you're standing in the grocery store.
Do you know what we have to do if the presentation doesn't
typically
load?
you have your
on a
green
fast?
2007.
at the first
Typically
line.
you would get away with 47%. It's about it's a couple 20s, right?
Okay.
2008 is 39%.
I'm not clicking something. I'll probably
2009 is
log back in.
14%,
Thank
as you can
Sorry
see,
about that.
as we are having
Sorry.
a deflationary time here. We that $20 is no longer 20. You're progressively increasing the price that you're there for. How does this relate to Bitcoin? Bitcoin goes in the opposite direction. The more that you hold, the more that it typically goes up. Where's my cursor? Oh. And speaking of the grocery store, do you guys like steaks?
Yeah.
Because I bet you could cook a steak on some of these minor circuit boards over here. They produce quite a bit of heat. How do you guys feel about medium rare? You good? Rare, medium rare?
No, medium rare.
Medium?
Ow.
No.
Proof of stake.
It looks more like well done. Yeah.
Well
in there.
done.
That would be well done. Yes, that one would be well done.
Yeah. So this reminds me about this guy that I'm dating, for 2 years. And he asked me, why don't you have a girlfriend? That's what it kind of looks like in this instruction. Blockchain word. Let's see, what do we have here? We have Bitcoin, blockchain, emerging technology, smart contracts, cryptocurrency, more Bitcoin disruption, fintech, more cryptocurrency. Okay, so it's basically we're talking about the same thing over and over again, aren't we? That's fantastic.
Oh my god.
Token classification perspectives. Udi, I think we need to have a talk.
I just want to point out I didn't make any of these slides. I'm not gonna dox
No,
the person
slides
or
aren't
the people
problem.
who did.
I want to know why you have portable milking devices on your chest.
Why not?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave. You guys can go on.
Okay, so the token classification perspectives. I guess everybody has a different way of looking at things. If we didn't, we would not be unique. We would not be in this room together. You could be whatever you would like to be in the Bitcoin world. Some people enjoy Bitcoin. Some people enjoy Ethereum. Some people enjoy Tron. In particular, these days, it's all about the DeFi. And how does this relate to token classification perspectives? Well, we have the fungibility, we have transferability, durability, regulatory, incentives, supply, token flow, temporal, and technical perspective. That was not in the correct order, but that's okay. We're going to make it through this together. So how does this relate to everything combined? Well, we're all a giant family and we're friends in this room. And just like this presentation, we're going to make it through together because friendship is everything.
The pauses are what gets me. The pauses, like, desperately trying to think of something to say.
So these charts right now represent about what my heart rate would probably look like if I had a monitor on right now. You got your ups and your downs and your greens. We have in the center, we have about the Bittrex and the KMJ to BTC ratio. We could probably, since that's in decimal point right now, we could translate that to the calories burned per second. The green right now is about where my audience stands on this right now. I think I'm doing pretty well. Let's see. The top 10 crypto influencers of 2020. All right. Top
All here, right?
10 crypto influencers of 2020. We've lost 5 people, but yeah, pretty well. All right, cool.
To tell the presenter in the middle of the speech how many people have been.
Thanks, Bitcoin.
So how do we designate the top 10 crypto influencers of 2020? Well, it's kind of hard to do because everybody on Twitter, you could be whoever you want to be. I think they watched the Reading Rainbow, when they were a kid, and Miss Frizzle with the Magic School Bus. So everybody kind of, I think people on the internet, they tend to present themselves in a fashion that isn't necessarily true because you can be whoever you want to be on the internet.
I knew I did it wrong.
I am a duck. I am JC. What are you? So it's a bit hard to gauge who actual influencers are because they're doing it all for the viewers, at least in my opinion, and not because, unless you're Andreas, for example, he's probably one of the only influential people that I personally know on the, low down level. But it's kind of hard to find, legitimate people unless you hang out with them and you can kind of gauge who they are. So back to the calorie count that we were talking about before in the supermarket. While you were shopping at the supermarket, you want to take into consideration the sugars that you're eating and your daily dose of calories. But what happens when you bring Beat Saber into the mix, right? On an average
Somebody
per
sack
hour.
the mapper.
Per hour,
Sack
you
the
could,
mapper, double directionals.
per hour, you could lose about 600 calories if I am standing correct. And so how does this relate with Bitcoin? Well, every Monday at around 1 p.m. Pacific, we have a group of people who love to play this game with each other, and you all are cordially invited. More information will be in the Reckless VR channel. Facts I got correct. Absolutely nothing in this slide is correct. Money, sex, and power. Those are actually, believe it or not, the 3 most popular passwords according to hackers. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for watching me. And enjoy the rest of the show.
Woo!
Yay.
Nice. Nice. I was really able to follow this one. Well done. There was a nice thread of sense just throughout the entire thing. It was great. Let's see, can I? Yes. Okay, so we have 2 more. The first one, the next one is going to be from Crypto Mags over there. And then I'm going to be last.
Woo!
Hopefully
Oh,
everyone
Mags.
leaves before it's my
Make
turn.
sure the
So-
applause is above 9,000.
Wait, so we need a topic, right? Do I choose
Oh,
a
yeah.
number? 8, I
4?
guess.
13.
8 is a good
okay.
number.
8. How to keep your Bitcoin safe.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh.
one.
All right, welcome to the show. This is an educational session. I know we all love to stack sats, but we got to keep those sats safe, baby. All right, next slide. This page is obviously intentionally left blank, and this is what your mind should be like. You got to learn. We want to keep these stats safe, but also, if you want to write it on a piece of paper, no, keep that paper blank. If you're trying to create a wallet, guys, if you put it on a piece of paper, you spill coffee on it, boom, your Bitcoin's gone. You put it on a piece of paper, your secretary comes along, she throws it in his trash, boom, it's gone. So keep that paper blank. Put it on a crypto steel, put it on some metal, stick it in a safe, bury it in your backyard, give it to Udi for
Wow.
safekeeping. That's how you keep it safe. You keep that paper wallet blank. The single source of truth. There is one truth here in this industry. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. Repeat. Not
Wow.
your keys, not your coins.
Not your keys, not
Unbelievable.
your coin.
Woo!
Sorry.
Udi gets it. That's right. You wanna
I think
keep
Max
your
has done this before. I think Max has done this before. This is way
actually
too good.
working really well. So
Way
the
too
source
good.
of truth is, if you want to hold on to that Bitcoin, you don't want Quadriga to happen, you don't want Mt. Gox to happen, you got to hold on to your keys and not on a piece of paper. Brace yourselves. Vote Team Blockchain to
that mean?
Silicon Valley? I don't think so. This is the year of Bitcoin, not blockchain. If you invested in blockchains like Udi invested in Tron, you're going to have a bad time this year. This is the year of Bitcoin. MicroStrategies, going all in, boys. You got to go all in. But then when you go all in, you got to protect that Bitcoin, baby. Bandwidth of demand. Speaking of MicroStrategy, everyone's piling on the roller coaster. We got to go big. We got to get a lot of that Bitcoin. Institutionals are coming on. So this is a really good time to stack sats and learn how to protect it because we're going up that roller coaster. Past 9,000. Just taking a look here. So yeah, like we're part of a network, right? This network is growing, just like Facebook grew. We're at the early stage, except Facebook sucks because that's Libra and centralized. But yes, next slide. All right, hold on. Cold store. Okay.
Oh.
Good. Amazing. I'm glad that my intern put this slide on. Don't worry. Marco Palace is keeping Mount Gox coins safe. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about hot and cold. If you really want to protect your Bitcoin, you got to stick it in cold storage. Now, what that means is you take your seed plate and you stick it in your freezer and you keep it cold. That's how you keep your Bitcoins cold. You don't keep them hot.
Put them in the shed.
And the key part there is, you got to keep them away from that internet connection so that somebody doesn't hack them. And that is why, again, the freezer is the perfect place to keep your Bitcoins cold.
What about smart fridges?
Ooh, that is a very good point. No.
Can you put a smart contract on a
fridges
smart
are
fridge?
Ooh, because see, you got an internet connection. You got to cut that puppy off. You got to go cold. You got to bury it. Bury it where you buried that hooker. Because you know you buried it well. And that is where your cold storage seed goes, Mr. Cow Palace. All right, wake up and smell the tulips, guys. The Bitcoin bubble will burst. But it's not going to be 2020 or 2021. It's going to go on a few more years.
A few more years.
Because
Really?
guys, we're winning. Like we've been in this farce for so long that like the big banks are getting in on it. They're going to hold Bitcoin. Our own industry is creating its own banks. That's how far we've come. So that tulip field is growing splendidly, and it is not ready to harvest yet. But again, remember, if you are going to bury your Bitcoin seed in a giant field of tulips, make sure you remember where. The Bitcoin Mixer is an anonymous service that confuses the trails of Bitcoin transactions. All right. So when you're talking about keeping your Bitcoin safe, you got to talk about keeping yourself safe too. What if you stacked sats 8 years ago and you're quite rich. You're maybe billionaire rich. And you meet a nice girl.
Yeah.
And she only really followed you because you tweet about Bitcoin. And she's like, I really hope he's an OG. Well, one way that happened was you didn't protect yourself. You maybe sent some Bitcoin somewhere on an address a while back. And she's like, hey, this guy had 1,000 Bitcoin. Well, you know what? You probably reused the same Bitcoin address and you doxed yourself. So one way to protect that and your ass, that's right, is to use Mixer. Make sure that the next gold digger or Bitcoin digger can't track you and loves you who you really are. Right, Udi?
Why did that go to me?
No reason.
Because everybody loves you for your personality.
I'm very confused.
I don't know. What is this? Okay. If
That's the dumbest thing I've ever read.
I know. Hold on. I'm trying.
That's so fucking
Hold on.
stupid.
I gotta move forward so I can read this. If investigator has the Bitcoin private key of the suspect, this is about the popo, guys. They can search for that particular key on the blockchain. I wish I could do air quotes for that particular to trace the purchase to other potential suspects. So, I sent some Bitcoin to Kitty. Kitty sent some to CQ, and maybe we did something nefarious. And guess what? The popo's coming for us. They're going to steal our Bitcoin. So one way you protect yourself is to cut off that trail by using mixers. This presentation makes total sense. So remember, use mixers, use CoinJoys, protect your privacy and your privates.
Protect your privates.
Because there are people called Bitcoin forensics artifact examiners. Hold on a second. I have no idea what the rest of this stuff is. We're coming to you. So these Bitcoin forensic artifact examiners, what they do is it takes over your computer and they say, hey, we got your keys now. I'm a professional examiner, and if you don't send me a little bit of Bitcoin to unlock your computer, I'm taking it all. And this again goes back to make sure you don't store your private key on your computer where someone will hack in and grab that. Watch out for scams, guys. Watch out for SIM squads. Watch
I'm
out
safe.
for
I have
hacks.
not.
Gotta keep it safe. Gotta
gateway
keep it
laptop.
secret. What? I don't own Bitcoin. I only own Bitcoin Cash. No, none of the good stuff for me. Nobody wants my cash.
What a joke.
All right, hold on. Let's just the collection of Bitcoin artifacts. We all know Bitcoin transactions happen through a network connection. So, should any of these private dicks come along and seize any physical object like, you know, my PC, my VR headset, my phone,
The fridge.
my Switch, like a
No,
Nintendo Switch? Oh, my fridge!
smart
Damn right,
fridge.
that smartphone fridge. Fuck, I knew that's how they'd get me. They can then hook back in, like, guys, come on, you gotta bury it. Remember the hooker. You gotta bury it well, at least 8 feet. Maybe put some dead chickens too, so that the dogs think that it's just the dead chickens. Hold on.
Where's your mind?
I mean, she's not wrong.
So really, Bitcoin is dead? No, guys. I think you're new here. We're just getting started. So make sure you protect that Bitcoin, because 3 years from now, we're all living in our citadel. Whether it's like a little pink castle or it's a hardcore modern masterpiece on a cliff top, make sure that you can afford that citadel, because you're not coming over to mine if you didn't.
Yeah.
Woo!
There's no food, guys. I'm so disappointed.
You had like the perfect storm of slides with your topping. What the fuck? Compared to mine, oh my god, I feel so robbed.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I have many questions.
You know what? You clearly didn't tip ahead of time. I set up a lightning channel between myself and Udi before, and he picked the number.
Yeah, sure. That's me. Okay, Max, this was great. I'm
Thank you.
gonna throw this away if I manage to. Okay. So, okay, I need to pick a number again, right?
4.
10.
4?
Yeah.
4. Damn it.
Should you invest in Bitcoin?
Ooh.
No, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And we're going to move on to VR chat now. Okay, fine. I'll go through with this. What is a blockchain? And this is really important because before we consider whether or not you should invest in Bitcoin, again, the answer is no. We should think about blockchains and what they do. So, well, first of all, blockchains are all about consensus and agreement. You can see that with the 2 blue people shaking hands. It doesn't matter what color your hand is. You can always agree with someone about something, and this is what blockchains are all about. And the nice thing about Bitcoin is that it's not very good as a blockchain, and we'll see why. So first, mining and proof of work. This is how Bitcoin works. It's pretty sad. I mean, most blockchains use things like proof of stake or Excel spreadsheets, or they use all sort of things. Honestly, I don't know what they use these days. I think, oh yeah, there's the whole
Proof of weak
farming
hands.
revolution. You just,
Proof of weak
yes, proof of
hands.
weak hands. Those are strong hands, but if you happen to have weak hands, you can use that for mining. Anyways, whatever it is you use, please don't do mining, because mining destroys the planet, and it's just not. And yes, it dries up the ocean. Really, just don't do it. So that's a great reason to not invest in Bitcoin, is to save the planet. If you care about the planet, then maybe don't buy Bitcoin. If you happen to live on Mars, then I guess you're fine buying Bitcoin, but otherwise, it's just not a good investment. So yeah, another reason not to buy Bitcoin is that there are many other coins you can buy. Most of them are just cheaper. So why would you buy Bitcoin for $10,000 or whatever it is when you can buy Prime Coin for probably for free because no one wants it. So
Kanye coin.
Kanye coin, yes. Does
Do
anyone
you know every
remember
coin on that
Kanye
slide?
coin? I can't grab my own. Here it is. Yes, this is the Kanye coin. Konya coin? I don't remember what they called it. Whatever, but it existed for about a week. So quite longer than current shitcoins actually. These days, tokens like Yam only survive a day or two. So this was almost a week. Definitely a better investment. And there are other coins here that I don't necessarily recognize. Maybe this is Namecoin, but I think Namecoin was blue. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Barbecue
I mean,
coin?
of course I do. I picked the slides, but theoretically I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, okay. This is a good one. This is really, there's a point I wanted to make here. So just let me remind myself what it was. Yes. So okay. So what we see here in the center is kind of a unicorn. The unicorn is representative of Uniswap. And there's a woman who's naturally attracted to the unicorn because anyone who has Uniswap is very attractive. Also, you might be able to see that there is like this ugly duckling over here below. You might think it's a swan, but it's not. And he owns Bitcoin. This is a Bitcoiner. There are no women next to him, no nothing. He's probably going to get stepped on very soon. I don't know. Make your own decisions and research about that. Okay. Yes. So this is exactly what I look like every afternoon. So when I invite my friends over, specifically the middle guy, and we just talk about how Bitcoin is a bad investment and how other people are buying Bitcoins while we are getting rich off yams. It's a lot of fun. Well, this is obviously a very good reason not to own Bitcoin. Like you can't possibly run a Bitcoin full node. It takes like 5 years to sync it. It's horrible. What even is this? Like what is this? This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like coins these days have like colorful screens and landing pages and they have big buttons and what is this? Like does that make you want to invest in Bitcoin? Honestly, it really doesn't. Really doesn't. So yeah, it looks like someone designed it 10 years ago and never changed anything about it, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's a classic.
So, okay. Well, I guess another reason to not buy Bitcoin is that it's not compatible with IoT. So a lot of you have VR headsets strapped to your faces right now, and that's kind of Internet of Things. Some of you even paid Facebook money to track you all day long, and they kind of take pictures of your house, and they see you when you walk around naked in your living room. It's really nice. So Bitcoin doesn't work with that because it's a lot of data and there's a lot of devices, and Bitcoin is just too stupid. So don't invest in things that don't support IoT.
What was the topic of this presentation again?
Yeah.
I think it's about
Bitcoin?
Yes. Should you invest in Bitcoin? And the answer is no, but I really want to explain why. So this is So imagine you're a millennial, and I guess these are all. Is any of those people even still alive? I don't know who these boomers are.
I think that's Tom Hanks.
That's just old boomers. Tom Hanks, is he still with us? Let's assume he is. So what you can see is how someone starts from being. I'm going to show you this because this is important. Can I grab this? No. Anyways, so maybe this
personal one. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Thanks, Mozilla.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. Yeah, just have to spin my. Okay, so what you can see here, this is a nice guy, nice young man who doesn't own Bitcoin. Okay, and then at some point, a friend tells him about Bitcoin, and he's kind of frustrated, and then he buys it, and this is what he ends up looking like after owning Bitcoin. Okay. this is what it's like. On the other hand, here you can see this is a Bitcoiner, okay, and he looks at other stuff like Ethereum and Uniswap and Tron, and then he thinks, you know what, I'm gonna switch all my Bitcoins for Uniswap, and he ends up looking like this, and that's why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin. Okay, I hope this is clear. So okay, well. Is there any single person here who doesn't love Dogecoin? One person.
Yes, me.
No.
Okay, you can go. You can go. After Bitpain left, is there anyone else who doesn't like? No, everyone loves Dogecoin.
It's a dog.
But not everyone loves Bitcoin. So, for example, I don't like Bitcoin, and I'm sure other people here don't like it. So, why would you buy something that not everyone loves when you could buy something that everyone does love, like Dogecoin? So just
That's
don't buy
literally
Bitcoin.
a page of some shitty website on live Bitcoin news. What kind of fucking slide was that?
An Udi
And
slide.
to kind of, this is the last slide. So first of all, I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna have to go. But this is, so what you see here. This is the Bitmain mining farm, all of it.
All of it.
No one is interested in Bitcoin anymore. It says 2012 on top, but honestly, it looks exactly like that to this day. And no one cares. No one cares. Everyone moved on. Bitcoin is old and it sucks. And I guess you could buy it as kind of memorabilia if you want, but other than that, it's really useless. I guess, I don't know. There's the 21 Bitcoin computer that if you happen to own that, then it's maybe you can use that to mine something else. But really, that's it. So again, to sum it up, the answer is no. Do not invest in Bitcoin. And thank you for coming to my talk. And yeah, have fun.
Woo!
Have fun. Okay. Now I can get rid of this.
Yay.
And finally, I'll find out what's behind this.
I bet it's an ad for Tron.
I don't even remember what's there. No, I can't click it.
Just
It's nothing.
in time.
There we are. It's nothing. Okay,
Nice.
so I hope you enjoyed this very planned out evening or morning or whatever it is for you. And also, I hope you enjoyed Mozilla Hubs, which is, I know it's fine, I guess.
I think it's great.
workable.
Stop complaining.
Some people
about
had
it.
some people had some problems. I think people with the Quests had some problems. Like some of them couldn't see the slides switching and
They're
stuff.
always going to have problems. They're
Yeah,
on
the
Quest.
slides
It's
were
not
not
every
reflecting
penny I
the
paid.
Problems
Can't
with
you
laser
buy the
pointers.
Quest 2? Come on, buy the Quest 2. Just
Pre-order.
get over yourselves. Okay, that's good. And yeah, I guess we'll move to VR chat as usual soon. But I don't know. You can troll each other for now. Hey, Bitpaint.
Hey.
Awesome.
Thank you, Bitpaint, for
Thanks,
keeping us
everyone.
up to date with
Yeah.
the attendee count. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Oh,
Is he
yeah.
here or on the live
That was such
stream?
an asshole move, wasn't it?
Hey, just so you know, 5 people just left.
I
This is the
mean, she was
experience of
saying
being like
she
a real
did great,
stand-up where you just see people
and I was
walk
like,
out of the room.
doesn't look like on the statistics at least.
Well, just fact checking, basically.
Oh, you stuck through it.
You guys
They-
had like the
they-
perfect
they-
storm of slides though. Mine was
I
just
know.
like, what the fuck?
That's true.
I think you
That's
forgot
true.
your topic. You started talking about the grocery store and you stayed with it, but you were supposed to talk about no.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
yeah.
payment channel.
The word
And
no
payment
literally
channel.
never happened.
No, the
once.
payment channel. So actually, you had like a fucking mining thing, which could have worked, maybe.
I didn't write any of it down. So
Oh.
yeah.
Actually, Udi, you got all the
Good job,
bad
you guys. Hey, major
slides.
props. That was awesome.
I was
Yeah, I
sorting
got-
them for the
Andrew,
A
yeah,
and the
you
B
were
game, and
hilarious.
you got the B game.
I'm just very disappointed I didn't get boobs.
Yeah, my presentations
Yeah.
had the boobs.